यस्नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Please read verse 18 onwards, please. Samadhana samadhana ita ita vikalpana shunya citto na janati kaivalyamiva sanstitah निर्ममो निरहंकारः न किंचिदिति निश्चितः अंतर्गलित सर्वाशः कुर्वन्नपि करोति न मन प्रकाश सम्मोह स्वप्न जाड्य विवर्जितः दशां कामापि संप्राप्तः भवेद् गलितमानसः निर्ममो निरहंकारः न किंचिदिति निश्चितः अंतर्गलित सर्वाशः कुर्वन्नपि करोति न मन प्रकाश सम्मोह स्वप्न जाड्य विवर्जितः दशां कामपि संप्राप्तः भवेद् गलितमानसः। There are so beautiful verses. If you understand the Sanskrit language directly, you can appreciate what exactly it is. Yet, just because you know the Sanskrit language, you are not going to understand it. Because language talks about the words, the language talks about the known world, the known perceptions, that which can be known, yet to be known, all in the realm of perception, objectification. Even if it at level of the thought also, it can talk about that. But no language can talk about the absolute. Please understand. Very clearly you can see from the last, which we saw yesterday, samadhana, asamadhana, hita, ahita, vikalpanaha. Samadhana, yesterday I gave you one meaning called solution, samadhana. You know, like for a prashna there is a samadhana. But here the meaning, samadhana is, that is, words can mean so many things. Samadhana, asamadhana. Here samadhana means samadhi, where there is a total, a contemplative mind which dissolves. Asamadhana, where there is restlessness, agitation. So whether somebody goes through samadhana or asamadhana, whether somebody is in a state where there is absolutely no thought, agitation whatsoever, or there is asamadhana, there is a restlessness, agitation, it doesn't make any difference to the one who is shunya chittaha, one who is one with himself, which is beyond the presence and the absence of thought. This one you should see very, very clearly. Because some people, those who are agitated, they value relaxation. The person who is relaxed is afraid of agitation. Understand? These are the relative states. You don't come to the scripture, you don't come to the teacher to get a relative state of relaxation. But you want something which shall remain unaffected, untouched by both the presence as well as the absence of the thought. Both by the presence or absence of the physical body, of the living or dying, the presence or absence of anything, call it power, position, youth, whatever it is. That is why when you look at the scriptures, the students, when they come to the teacher, they are highly contemplative as well as perceptive people, very much with high perception. Because in the average man looks for, if he is agitated, he looks for little absence of agitation, some peace and quietude. The person who is peaceful is continuously afraid, is always afraid that any time agitation can come. It's like health and disease. The person who is diseased, craving for health. The person who is healthy, afraid that any time a disease can come. Definitely health is better than the disease. But health is not anxiety-free, because in the health there is a possibility of the disease. The person who is dying and living, the person who is dying is afraid of, is craving for life. The person who is alive is afraid of death. Any time it will come. Definitely between the two, living is better than dying. Again, it's a very relative statement, because who decides living is better than dying? The person who is having a terminal cancer, people commit suicide. 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 15-year-old, 13-year-old. How they commit suicide? The father said something, husband said something, wife ran away. Other day, these days, this Facebook and all that thing, internet has become a disaster. It's a battleground. Thousands are dead, fighting invisible enemies or visible enemies. What is happening? It came in America or Mexico, somewhere. There are two girls. They are very friendly. 16-year-old, 16, 17-year-old. They had photos of theirs, very, no clothes. Some photos they had taken, friends, children, youth, youngsters. So they just had fun. They had taken the photos of each other. One girl has put up that photo in the website, in the Facebook. Now the other person, she comes to know about it, she gets very upset, agitated. She doesn't think it's a fun. She feels very upset. And then she writes, I don't think you shall live for more than 1 year. So the other girl takes it as a very, just like a joke. Then there is a party, friends, they come together, and this girl, whose photo was published, takes a knife and stabs that lady some 16 to 17 times and kills her. It could have been somebody would be so frustrated, unhappy, miserable, killed himself. That frustration could have expressed in two different ways. The person could have killed herself. Or the person could have, but here the person killed the other person. Killing the other person also is not solving the problem. There God knows what type of judgment will come, whether she is responsible, not responsible. That is a different thing altogether. But think of this. Living or dying, who decides? You feel frustrated, you are 15, 16-year-old, but you commit suicide. Farmers cannot pay back the loan. He thinks it's better to die than not to be able to pay the loan and being hounded by the loan sharks or the banks. Families. The father cannot manage the family. They kill the father, son, mother, daughter, everybody is killed. They commit suicide. So who decides life is better than death? Just think of, friends. This is very beautiful. Today we shall see elaborately and we shall see the amazing dimension of this knowledge. No student in the Upanishads comes there, even the Bhagavad Gita, they are the representation of the humanity. The student, the person who has asked that question is the representation of humanity, the human mind. Go to Bhagavad Gita. What did Arjuna ask? Yat sreyasyat nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteha aham te shishya sadhimam dva prapannam. O Lord, he tells Krishna, teach me yat sreyasya, that which is the absolute good, not relative good. Yes, sreya. Don't say victory is also okay, defeat also is okay. No. I have seen enough, I know defeat is stupid. But a victory also is not enough. How many victories? Even if I gain the kingdom, what he says? Abhapya bhumau asapatnam ruddham samrajyam surana bhaiva adhipatyam. Fantastic line. Bhumau, abhapya bhumau asapatnam ruddham samrajyam. In this world, even if I get a kingdom, ruddham samrajyam, an empire, ruddham, which is absolutely prosperous. Because you may have a huge kingdom, but there is no prosperity, all sand, no oil underground. Okay? So you get samrajyam, even if I get an empire, very prosperous. But if it is a prosperous kingdom, there is also trouble, because everybody wants to take a chunk of it. Asapatnam, no enemies. There is nobody to conquer you. Asapatnam ruddham samrajyam. You understand? Your possession, nobody can challenge. Unchallenged possession of a prosperous kingdom. Even if I get that. Surana bhava adhipatyam. Or after this life, even if I get Surana bhava adhipatyam, the sovereignty of the gods, the power of the gods, the god of the gods, Indra. That also comes down, goes away. Prosperity, poverty doesn't solve the problem. Prosperity doesn't solve it either. Defeat doesn't solve the problem. Victory doesn't solve it either. Because if you are victorious, you have to defend your victory for the rest of the time. So can you give me something? Yat sreyas yad nishchitam yas sreyas. Sreyas means that which has no opposite. It's fantastic. Think, friends, today we shall see that point very, very clearly. Recognize, living shall be absolutely fantastic. Yet sreyasya, that sreyas is a word in Sanskrit which has no translation in English. You have to use so many words, beyond relatives, sreyas, beyond good and bad, beyond papa and punya, beyond right and wrong, beyond victory and defeat, beyond success and failure, beyond. Please let these words not sound in your eardrum and return. Allow it to penetrate into your brain. Think about it. What are you interested? Many times I have asked these questions to you and all of you know about it. How many people are interested in absolute immortality and how many people are interested in the extension of mortality? Not many people are aware of immortality. That there is an immortality, not many people even sit down to think about it. Because we have been conditioned to believe there is nothing called immortal. And immortality means what? Physical immortality. Everybody thinks immortality means physical immortality. With the body, I shall live forever. No. In Oriya language, in Bhagavatam, it says, Martya Mandala Dehavahi Devata Helevi Marai. Martya Mandala. In this mortal universe, even if a God incarnates, he has to obey his own law and to pass. You cannot live forever. So there is nothing called a physical immortality. You may say Krishna can appear in another form, but Krishna as such is not hanging around at this moment in Gopapura. If you go to Mathura, you shall not see him anywhere. No, these days devotees go and see. That is a perception of devotion. That is not the perception of our physical eyes. Physically, that body is not moving around. Suppose you have a belief, you have a faith, and it may so happen God chooses to appear in a particular form. That's different. Tulsidas saw Rama and Sita and Lakshman in the banks of the Ganges. Okay. Some people, some devotees claim they see the dance of Krishna Rasa Leela in the thing. Don't dismiss it. Possibilities are enormous, infinity. That is why yesterday I told you, Ascharyam. There is nothing which wonders the wise man, makes him wonder, because every possibility, there is not surprised by anything in life. So physical immortality, everybody hankers for. Physically, your body shall never grow younger. You can extend your mortality. Like my teacher now, he told 101-year-old now, are leaving. First time I'm seeing a person who is 101. We hear, yes, in Japan they are there, Russia they are there, but locally now there is one available. It should be like a tourist thing, I was so happy Tamil Nadu government was trying to find out who are the people who have over 100 to give them a special sort of reception. Should be done. Because centenary in the life of institutions, plenty. But centenary in the life of a human being, so rare. 101, imagine. But the body is fragile. The person is still strong, going about. But how long can the person be strong? Body is fragile. Cannot move from one place to another, 100 feet, 200 feet. Very difficult. The mind is beautiful, still very alert. But body will not. So physical immortality people look for. That will not be possible. How many people are interested in immortality itself? Not many are aware of that dimension. Same thing, just like you are interested in, nobody is interested in death when you are 15, 20, 30, but extension of mortality, same thing also in life. Failure and success. Everybody guns for success, nobody wants a failure. But think, friends, who defines what is a success? Who defines what is a failure? Think. In your examination, nowadays children are lucky, there is no failure because there is no examination. Everybody pass. 10th standard means everybody pass. A, B, C, D, E, F, D grade you can give, but that doesn't, you are pass. But when there was a minimum mark 30% means pass, then what happens? There are many who are fail. If you make 20% pass, still some fail. 10% pass, still somebody fail. If you say 60% if you keep, then only pass, many people fail, 90% pass, everybody fails. You want to give a sense of failure to somebody? Just raise the mark, benchmark. You want to make everybody feel success? Lower it down. That is why in religion it has become such a disaster. In one religion, what we call as the papa, prohibition, prohibited action, in another religion it is punya. It is accepted. I have given you that example many times. There are certain, this one IIT director was there, one Mr. Indira Sen. I don't know whether he is there. Brilliant mind, naturally, the director of Madras IIT means must have some brain, no. He had written a beautiful article. It came in the Hindu those days, some 15, 20 years back. Who is holy? Is it Shankaracharya, a pope, or a Maulvi, Ayatollah? Just think it. Who is holy? Everybody says all the three people are holy people. But there are differences. If the Pope, as the spiritual head of a particular faith, he can eat anything, all the meat of the world, anything, drink anything. His holiness is not affected. Ayatollah can't drink, no pigs, but he can eat other things, other meat he like, but it must be cut in a particular way. He's a Muslim cleric. Okay, just think of, there's nothing to, you understand, we are not talking of religion, just think of the religious traditions. In one tradition, you can have everything, it's no problem. In another tradition, you cannot drink, you can't eat certain meat. In Shankaracharya, everything is a big no. Drinking far away. If you drink from the bottle in which one time there is a whiskey, he may have to bathe. I'm just talking, just making fun of it. Meat, just forget it. By chance, Shankaracharya eats. Not only Hindus, those who are followers of Shankaracharya will condemn him, but also the Muslims and Christians also will say, how can he do that? When they have absolutely no such word about Pope or the Ayatollah or the cleric, Muslim cleric, they will do that, they will condemn that on Shankaracharya. Why? Because you are judged by the standard you keep. So if you put a standard, what is the standard? No meat, no drinks, no sweet. Just think of it. Then what will happen? You are judged by that. So if you want to make everybody, that is what many children will come and talk to their parents. When they go to the school, and they, of course, share their tiffin. They open. First standard, second standard, third standard children. You are from a family where the non-vegetarian is a taboo. In other families, some other families, non-vegetarian is not a taboo. The children can eat as much as they like. So when the children open it up, then he says, this is right. This is what is that? He says, this is meat or chicken or fish or anything. Then he comes back and asks the mother, why can't I eat? They are eating. No, it is not nice, it is not good. It is Papa to kill them. Then how come he is not a Papa? How come he is not affected by that sin? They have particular religion, they are eating. How in our religion I cannot eat? Imagine, if you can eat everything and still be very religious, who is going to follow your religion where you don't have to eat to be religious? Just I'm giving you devil's advocate, okay? Are you getting that point? No, it's not a joke. This is how children get affected. Even this Janav, this, what is that, Upavitam, that, what is that function? Upanayana. In Upanayana, English is sacred thread ceremony. Like some children, they will be all playing together. Then one day suddenly somebody comes with a thread around it. They say, what is that? And then naturally the boy is putting on thread, he says, nobody is having, why should I have it? No, you belong to a particular family and you should be doing like that. He said, but my friends are not there. Nobody does that. You don't know what to say. Sometimes the child feels so bad that he will remove it and tie it to the pant and go, because he doesn't want to be seen with that thread. The child feels uncomfortable, and nobody has got it, why should I have it? And because I have it, I cannot eat meat, but I want to eat meat. Then what will happen? One day you put it on and eat the meat also. Then slowly get used to it. Okay, let it be there, meat things is all right. You understand what a conflict the child goes through. And the other person feels comfortable to eat because I don't have the thread, so I can eat whatever I want to eat. Do you understand? Please. So who says what is holy, what is unholy? If you say ahimsa, not killing an animal, that's fantastic. Respect for life, therefore I don't want to kill. Not because it is holy not to kill. Not because it is holy not to eat. Then you condemn yourself that you are unholy because you are eating something or doing something. Just think, friends. So, in life, you shall see, being a vegetarian, there are certain problems. In a sense, suppose somebody says you have to have animal protein. Doctors nowadays, they will ask you for eating food. You must eat an egg or you must something. Somebody says, no, I don't want it. Another person says, no, I don't want to eat that because I don't want to kill an animal. He gives it up. Okay. But suppose you give a religious injunction that you should give it up, the person gives it up but goes through terrible conflict inside. He gives it up but goes through terrible conflict inside. Now, please think of it. Please think of it. And same thing also in life, success and failure. Who decides what is failure or what is success? 30%, 50%, 60%. Education and the lack of it. I know illiteracy, lack of education doesn't solve the problem. We must be educated. But being educated also has not solved the problem. Poverty will not solve the problem. There will be too much of inconveniences and difficulties. But prosperity has its own inconveniences and difficulties. That also doesn't solve the problem. Prosperity has different types of problem. Poverty has different types of problem, but not problem-free. Are you getting that point, please? A king had a dream. And next morning he was so restless about the dream, he called all the scholars from the court. He said, please come and give me a solution. Last night I had a dream. And what is the dream? That all my teeth have fallen. All my teeth have fallen. And I am feeling so spooky about it, uncomfortable about it. Please tell me, interpret the dream. Why these things? So one fellow comes and says, Maharaj, this is a very bad dream. That means all your children, your grandchildren, your wives, your everybody shall automatically, all will fall away. The king felt so disappointed, affected and did not like that. He asked him, put this man into the jail. He is king, you know. Put him there. Asked another interpreter. That person came. Then a man listened to the king and he smiles, laughs, said, oh king, you are a lucky man. You are such a lucky person. He said, what is a lucky person? What do you mean? How do you say, how do you interpret this? Teeth will fall away, everybody falls away, but you shall survive. The king was so happy. He said, what is the difference between you survive and everybody falling away? If you emphasize everybody falling away, you are angry. If you say you survive, you are happy. This is relative things. You understand? Very, very simple way I am talking to. We'll go into the complications. Unhappiness, discomfort doesn't solve the problem. Nobody wants discomfort. Nobody wants unhappiness. What is discomfort? Think, friends. Think what is discomfort. Discomfort will be in a hot day, in an asbestos room, which is only 6 feet height, like our kitchen in the Kiriguti. Heavy heat, only 7 feet height hot with asbestos. And the cooking is taking place there for 20-30 people. So that place is between 10-12 feet to 7 feet. Beautiful in the midsummer day. So hot. That is discomfort. In a hot summer day, inside an asbestos kitchen room, definitely you cannot say, oh, it's very cool and nice. This is discomfort. Or a person has no place to sleep, sleeping under a tree. The insects are going over it. You know, all that stuff. This is sheer discomfort. Comfort is what? Anything you can say. Just get out of that and have a thatch. Comfort. Super comfort is what? Thatch. Then, or nice kitchen, or 5-star kitchen, or what? Palace. No end. No end. That is why the same house, when you ask, it's a 2,000 square foot house, how much it will cost to build it? What the contractor will say? The real contractor, if he doesn't want to puncture you, what shall he say? Yes, sir, knowing your standard, he shall say, 4-5 lakhs, sir, it will be all right. Because he knows you cannot spend more than that. But if a real contractor you come across and he doesn't know your condition, how much will sir cost? It depends what material you use. If it's 2,000 square feet, it can be 2 crore. If you put gold sink, Italian marbles, the most sophisticated gadgets, 2,000 square feet, you can spend 2 crores. Diamond-studded mirror, 20 crores. Understand? The comfort, relative comfort. This is not the bhoga. It will come later on. Bhoga. Bhoga, you know, you enjoy, but you are not a happy person. The poor person is uncomfortable, unhappy. The rich person is comfortable, unhappy. Unhappiness doesn't go away. Are you getting that point, please? So this is what is known as the relative things. Relative things. Same thing also. Listen carefully. Now I am talking about very gross material object. Comfort, discomfort. Unhappiness, absence of unhappiness. That much we are talking about. You are uncomfortable, you are unhappy. You are comfortable, therefore absence of unhappiness, but you are not happy person. Because if somebody tells you, oh, you have a beautiful house, but yesterday I went to my friend's house just to puncture you. That person doesn't have a house. But he always has an imaginary friend's house which is better than your house. Have you not seen people, sick people like that? My friend, who is their friend? Nobody. But just you cannot take somebody being successful. You cannot take somebody having a good piece of, pair of clothes or good piece of jewelry or a nice job. The moment somebody says, I have a good job, I am working in a mid-level management and I am getting 500,000 rupees per month, 5 lakhs rupees per month. This man doesn't get even 50,000, but he has an imaginary cousin who is getting 100 million a year. Why? Not for his sake, but to puncture this fellow. He can't take it. You understand? Sick mind. This is why even if you are a successful person, somebody can give you a sense of failure. Even if you are a comfortable person, somebody can make you feeling of discomfort. I am talking about now gross physical thing. When it comes to holiness, unholiness, papa, punya, sin and virtue, moral, immoral, right, wrong, oh boy, is completely different. Think of it. When it happens, please recognize, it will be completely different. See that? You must see this point very clearly. Physical world, okay? In a gross physical world, you can never define what is success, what is failure. When there was nobody, just imagine when you are 30, 40 years back, a Lakpati, when a person says he is a man of lakhs, everybody says, oh, Lakpati. Today if somebody says he has a lakh, what does it mean? Why? Every monkey is getting a lakh of rupees. You should be a millionaire also no more a good rupee millionaire. If you is a millionaire, they will ask you, rupee millionaire, dollar millionaire. If you are rupee millionaire, dollar millionaire, okay. Only millionaire. What about billionaire? You understand? In the relative world, the moment you just shift that benchmark, success can be failure, failure can be success. Just like that, you have another sense. Please. Papa, punya, right, wrong, good, bad, moral, immoral. Another huge conditioning. Nobody comes. Please recognize today we must see it very clearly. Arjuna asked that question. You know, Bhagavad Gita, you shall see the questions in Upanishads. Arjuna asked that question. Oh Lord, please tell me, yes, sreyasyat nishchitam bruhitam me, shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Please tell me what is sreyas, what is absolute good in life. Because that is relative things, I understand. I know poverty doesn't solve the problem. Prosperity doesn't solve it either. Defeat will not solve the problem, but victory will not solve the problem either. How many people can see this? Think, friends, how many people see this? The person who is constantly going hungry, underfed, miserable, his only dream is what? If only I can get some food. And we get some food, he thinks life is made. The person who is poor, he has a dream. If I get 100 rupees, everything shall be fine. He gets 100 rupees, for some time it is okay, until he gets into another dream, 1,000 rupees, 1 million rupees, 1 crore, like that it goes on. But for some time it forgotten. Like that many middle class families, think of it. Human beings. The moment you get some security, the person deludes himself that that security belt shall not be exploded. The security will not go away. That is how most people delude themselves. Why the average person feels devastated? Why? Think. Why does he feel devastated? Because he never expected that one day the business will collapse. Never expected his wife will die. Never expected he will have the cancer. Never expected the children will be drug addicts. Never expected the best friend, the trusted friend will be treacherous. Never expected that he can meet with an accident except him, the rest of the family can be finished. Because he had created a nice safety belt. Think, friends, that is why you feel devastated. Why people feel devastated when they die 30 or 40 or 50 year old and hit by the cancer, some type of a fatal disease? Why they feel devastated? Because they have not thought of death. The young man thinks he is immortal. The thought of death never comes to him. So he never feels destroyed and devastated. Please. So security, people who have a little security, this is what happens. But a person who is thinker, he knows, okay, I was uneducated, I had a lot of problems. Now I am educated, those problem of the uneducated is gone, but the new set of problems have come. Poverty will not solve the problem, but prosperity has a different types of problem. Poverty made me uncomfortable, unhappy. Prosperity made me comfortable, but still empty, unhappiness. How many people can take it? Because if you are prosperous, you are supposed to be happy. That is why a rich celebrity has to cry all alone in his total privacy and isolation. Because if the person cries, the whole world will refuse to accept it. How can you cry? You have all the money in the world, you have the job, you have the house, you have the car, you have the dogs, you can go around the world, you have a private plane. How can you be miserable? And the person cannot say, no, I am miserable. It doesn't understand that right in the heap of luxury, there is an emptiness haunting the person, which is natural to all. It can be Arjuna the prince, it can be Arjuna the guy in the street. Understand? So if you can see that even the prosperity doesn't solve the problem, same thing you can come across, papa punya, right and wrong, holy and unholy. Some people consider themselves very, very holy people. And they look down upon others as unholy people. What is the unholy? That fellow drinks, That fellow drinks. That fellow smokes. He lives with one or two people. Or he is corrupt. He has taken some money from somebody. So you look down upon everybody. And some people are very proud. I never tell a lie. They don't tell when they have told the lies. But they'll be very proud. You remember that story where the children were playing a game, no? And the local holy man was passing by that side. They saw the children playing the game. Children, what type of game is this? And what was the game? The children were telling. There was a puppy and the children were competing. Whoever shall tell the best possible lie, he shall have the puppy. Now this holy man could not take it. He said, how come you children are doing this type of game? You must always speak the truth. Then the leader of the gang, the child, asked the man, sir, you have never told a lie? He said, never. The puppy is yours. Because some people consider themselves, just because they don't eat meat, just because the person doesn't drink something, just because he is married or not married or whatever way, or he perhaps bachelor or whatever, or he is married but he lives like a, like brother and sister, that type of idea is there. So that person considers himself holier than everybody else in this world. Think. And he thinks, please, the person who considers himself unholy, branded, conditioned to be unholy, what he feels? There is a self-condemnation. I am such a stupid man, I don't think I have a hope. Because everybody has told him, it's like caste system. You are untouchable, you cannot go to temple. So much it has gone to his head that in case you push him into the temple, he shall feel affected. Oh boy, I am spoiling the temple. Because it has gone into his head. And the person who has been told, oh, you are the high caste, you can go into the temple, no problem, dirty, never bathing, nothing, but he very comfortably he walks into the temple. Just think, please understand, friends, these are the strong conditionings have gone into our head. And what do we think? This person who is virtuous or the person who is holy is very superior, and the other person is all dirt. They are all useless. No, sir. If you have the conflict, listen, if you have the conflict that I am a useless person, I am such a sinner or rascal or whatever it is, a person also will have a conflict that if there is somebody who is more holy, that sense also will come in. And this knowledge, that which what we call Shrey as the absolute, please listen carefully, it is meant for both. I will give an example, make it clear. Just like Arjuna asks here, same thing in Upanishads also. In the Upanishad, the student, very matured student. The person is not, like a person was poor, now suddenly is even satisfied with 1,000 rupees per month, and that's good enough for me, a simple living, no problem. You cannot remain satisfied with a little more than what you had. Understand, infinity is not a little more than finite. Understand? Absolute happiness is not little absence of unhappiness. Absolute resolution is not absence of some little conflict. Absolute is something we shall have both, it is all inclusive. It will have within its ambit the success and the failure. Failure is as beautiful as even the success is. We shall see that. Poverty is as beautiful as even the prosperity is. Living is as glorious as even death is. Youth is as charming as the old age is. Why? Because you are the charm itself. You are the beauty itself. You are the immortality itself, the absolute. That is why in the Upanishads, when the student goes, they don't ask, please make me a good man. I don't know how to get out of these drinks. I don't know how to get out of this meat. I don't know how to get out of this craving for a man or woman. I don't know how to get out of the, whenever I see 5 rupees, I want to steal. You are not the first guy to be like that. Every human being is like that. If somebody is not like that, something is wrong with him. When you are growing up in life, listen carefully, when you are growing up in life with limitations, naturally, because there is ignorance, there is a poverty inside, you want to grab the whole world at your disposal. But however much you may grab, that will not solve your problem. Reason? Listen carefully. Physical, please understand, hunger, take this point, okay? Hunger. Physical hunger. Physical hunger is something which is hunger of the body, okay? And the hunger is, when you are hungry, how many idlis you can eat? How many? You are a small eater, half a idli, 2 idli, 3 idli. Now, even if you are a glutton, how many can you eat? 8, 10, 20 at one time? Enough. Listen. And this hunger of the body, please think these points clearly. This hunger of the stomach, you cannot take away by the thought of the food. You have to have the solid food. The hunger is gross and you need gross food to satisfy it. By thinking of idli, can you satisfy your hunger? By thinking of some 5-star meals, can you satisfy your hunger? More hunger will come. Your hunger is gross, the food also must be gross. You must have 10 idlis to satisfy your hunger. Listen carefully, friends. For some time only, after some time, again you are hungry after 2-3 hours. Okay? Now, the hunger of the mind is something else. The hunger of the mind Hunger of the mind is what? I want a house, I want a car, because I am unhappy, miserable. If only I can have a car, if only I can have a house, if only I can have money, if I can have pleasure, if I can see these things, hear these things, touch these things. You understand? The hunger of the body is just one type. The hunger of the body is just one type. Listen carefully. Hunger of the body is just one type. Physical hunger. Only food is your hunger, not even sex. Understand? Sex is not the hunger of the body, it's the hunger of your mind. We'll see that please clearly. Is the hunger of the body is only thing. Hunger and thirst and sleep. These three things are physical. If you don't eat, you will die. If you don't drink, you will die. If you don't sleep, you will go mad and die. Hunger, Shuddha, Trusha, Nidra. Hunger, thirst and sleep are physical. You have to satisfy, or else you shall die. Anybody dead with no sex? Then every child will die, 14, 15, 16, until you are physically, you are ready for it, matured for it, the thought doesn't even exist. Understand? And even when you are grown up, can anybody say 20, 25-year-old fellow died? What happened? No sex for 1 month. Died. Anybody? Think, friends. Don't unnecessarily create a problem where there is no problem. It comes to your mind. Listen carefully. So the hunger of the mind, when it comes to hunger of the mind is just not for food or drink or the sleep. Hunger of the mind is type of food. Are you getting that? Hunger of the body can be satisfied with any food. It can be idli. What type of breakfast? Any breakfast, fruit, bread. What shall I know? You understand? There is no, is there any particular food which is written, which satisfies the hunger? Anything like that? Every food will satisfy the hunger. But the hunger of the mind is only idli and dosa, South Indian. Only aloo parota, North Indian. Bread and butter, Western fellow. Then miserable. You are eating. Listen carefully. You are eating. Your hunger is gone, but you are unhappy. Are you getting that point, please? Your hunger makes you uncomfortable. And you are unhappy also. Your hunger makes you uncomfortable and you are also unhappy because you are uncomfortable. But you have a dream. I'll have this idli dosa because I had gone to Badri Kedar. Every day aloo, parota, aloo, roti, aloo. I'm tired. I want to come back to home and I'll eat idli dosa. When you come home, no idli, somehow no idli, no dosa available. How do you feel? Oh. You think a friend is inviting you. This hunger is gone, but you are unhappy. Listen carefully. So the hunger of the mind is how many types? Abba, I want to see this only. That is where you can see in life. You may be the richer than the richest man, but I don't have this painting of the Picasso. Average man doesn't know. Picasso, who is this boy? What type of food is that? He doesn't know what Picasso you are talking about, Rembrandt, what nonsense you are talking about. He doesn't get Cézanne, what talking you are talking about. Who cares? He doesn't bother. But rich man, big man, informed person, that is why educated people are more hungry. Permanently hungry. More information, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 phone. Those days, olden times what? Radio, tape recorder, radio and tape recorder, 3-in-1, radio, tape recorder, movie and a TV. Oh. Now, you understand how much hunger is there inside your head? Think, friends. Hungry for a million things. If the hunger of the body please. The hunger of the body goes away with the object. The hunger of the mind is a very peculiar hunger. The hunger of the mind is what? I want that object. Okay, you get that object. Are you happy? Just like the food is digested, again you are hungry, you got one object, that hunger for the balloon is gone, hunger for cycle comes. Hunger for cycle is gone, hunger for car comes. Hunger for car is gone, a particular model of car comes. And how many such things? Oh my God. These are the type of people we shall call them materialist. The fellow is always hungry for something or other. Why are you not satisfied with this car? Why should I have a Mercedes? Why should I have a BMW? Audi? I want a, Bugatti. Oh boy. You understand? The person goes on crazy. The person remains hungry forever. Why? Because in that hunger, listen carefully, the more you satisfy, just like when you satisfy the hunger of your body, more and more, you grow more and more. Listen carefully, there is a point. You grow more, so physically, very heavy. No food, right? Mentally, hunger for so many things, to see, to hear, to touch, to smell, to possess. More and more you satisfy that hunger, automatically everything increases outside. Because you don't need land to satisfy the hunger of your stomach. 1,000-acre land, 2,000-acre land, 100 cars, 200 cars. Then in the process you become rich. Richness of your body is, in a sense, you are fat, you are carrying 200 kilos. But you cannot carry 200 million rupees inside your body, inside your mind. That is why banks are there. Possessions are outside, the sense of possession is inside. Possessions are outside. That is why banks are very helpful. 200 million stacked, parked. 200,000 acre, parked. Big ranch owner, 1,000 horses, 200 cars. Very rich, still empty. Listen carefully. Why? The hunger of the mind, though it looks like you are wanting an object, you want the object because ultimately you want to be happy in life. So the real hunger is for the happiness. So, if the hunger is intangible, hunger for happiness is intangible. Gross hunger can be satisfied by the gross object. Gross hunger cannot be satisfied by the thought of the object. Please take that principle. Gross hunger of the body, you cannot dream away the object and feel fulfilled. You cannot dream away a house and feel fulfilled. You need gross object. But the subtle hunger for happiness cannot be satisfied by gross object. Just as gross hunger cannot be satisfied by subtle thought, the subtle hunger, the emptiness within, cannot be satisfied by the gross object. That is why your mind is like a bottomless pit. Empire shall be swallowed up like a black hole eating up the universe. You shall never find a happy man in this world. Why? Because they have not found the happiness in life. They are constantly filling up the emptiness, and that emptiness is like a black hole. It shall take away anything. Infinity, understand, if the lack of infinity is the black hole, any number of finite things can be swallowed up by the emptiness caused by infinity. Are you getting that point, please? Any number of things can be swallowed up. That is why you can go to the richer than the richest man in this world, but he shall be miserable. He has all things at his disposal. Wife is not there. Husband doesn't love him or love her. Children are useless. No children. And if the children, something somewhere. One thing bugs. So this is material thing. So you have got material object, everything are very rich, very comfortable. Then comes your, now that you are unhappy, listen carefully, now that you are everything at your disposal, but still you are empty, then a philosophy will come. If you renounce everything, you shall be happy. Why? The kings renounced, they become happy. The sages renounced. So if you renounce everything, you shall be happy. Listen carefully, friends. By renouncing the prosperity, you shall be poor, not happy. When you give up everything, listen carefully, when you give up everything, you shall be poor, but you shall not be happy. What will happen is, if you give up everything, you feel relieved. Why? Because with these so many things, you have to manage every day. It's like a man going away for a holiday. Forget this office, forget this house, forget everything. 8 days I am disconnecting myself, even a cell phone also thrown somewhere and gone. How do you feel? Appa, so nice. Why? For 5 to 6 days, no cell phone, no wife, no husband, no children, no friends, no office, no nothing. Appa, after 5 days, what am I doing here? Understand? That is an absence of engagement. Understand? Again the emptiness comes in. By simply renouncing, you cannot be happy at any time in life. That is where comes the understanding of yourself. Because the same I, listen carefully, who was considering himself poor, now prides, I am rich. The same I who was thinking I am rich, now he wants to be, I am a renunciate. The I thought, I have told you all these things, I thought that I goes on bugging you. That is the one who takes shelter in the relatives. I am rich, I am poor, I am holy, I am unholy. So you are, there is poverty, you are condemning yourself. There is prosperity, arrogant. You renounce everything, again arrogant. Why? See, I have given up millions, what do you think of me? Are you getting that? Now, therefore, this, when individuality is there, problem is not solved. So it knows about itself. When it knows about itself, it goes into the absolute. You know the I as to who am I, not a relative identity, but you go into the absolute. And this absolute knowledge, self-knowledge, please see now, please understand, it is meant for everyone. You shall see the beauty. In Upanishads, how they, as I told you, the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked like that. In the Upanishads, in Kathopanishad also, you can see that. What is his name? Nachiketas asked Yamaraj, please give me something. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. Please tell me that reality which is beyond dharma and adharma. I know adharma will not solve the problem, but dharma also doesn't solve, it creates more trouble. Like adharma creates trouble, dharma also creates trouble. Is it difficult to understand? You tell lies, you are in deep trouble. Why? Listen carefully. Why the lies will put you in trouble? Because you have to remember to whom what you have told. That is a double account and what a headache. Double account, triple account. Why is it so quickly exposed? Because you don't know which one is right now. You yourself maintaining two accounts, after some time you forget which one is right. Very difficult. Till the lies, you have got a responsibility to remember to whom what you told. To impress everybody, you said, your uncle is an ambassador. Another person said, your uncle is the Chief Justice, Justice Supreme Court. Really? To impress another person, you said he is the governor of the state. Really? Now you have to remember to whom what you have told. And by chance the three people come together, you are always, they are telling me that, you understand? It's a headache. But suppose, what's your father? He is a principal of a college. Truth. Do you have to remember? If you speak the truth, you don't have to remember anything. But you tell a lie, you have to remember everything. If you understand that simple principle, jump it. When you understand the truth of yourself, who are you? Happiness absolute. You don't have to say anything to anybody. But if you say relative things you take out to yourself, you have to remember. Your age you have to remember. Your positions you have to remember. Your jobs you have to remember. Because those are relative things you have to remember. Those are falsehood. You have to remember. Whereas truth about yourself, you don't remember. Anyway, so falsehood never pays. Go back. Truth also doesn't pay. It's a headache. Truth also is a headache. Suppose in your group there is somebody who speaks only the truth and nothing but the truth. What a headache. How? We experienced it when we are going to Himalayas. When we are going to some 30 years back, we are going to Himalayas in our student group. And everybody is supposed to have this inoculation certificate from the municipality or from a hospital. One gentleman has come, he has not taken the inoculation, but his name is put already. So, in Rishikesh, before you leave that place, there is a health inspector comes up and asks everybody, have you taken, have you taken? Now he said, I have not taken, I have to tell now, I have not taken. Now, if he says he has not taken, now he cannot go and we all cannot go. So everybody, hey, you have taken, don't say you have not taken. How can I tell a lie? Then they came and to Swamiji, this fellow is telling me. I said, oh, what can you do now? Now look at that. If you say, see that? Even Swami is also telling you to tell a lie. All right, speak the truth and see what happens. Like a very insensitive person, he says, hey, blind man, come here. Hey, how can you talk like that? Hey, I'm speaking the truth. He's blind. And what shall you call him? Blind. What is this? Speaking the truth? Satyam vada or Satyam vada? Huh? Satyam vada is speak the truth. Satyam vada is kill the truth. You can't do that. Even speaking the truth also sometimes puts you into trouble. Listen carefully. Being poor did not solve. Being rich doesn't solve. Give me an absolute identity. These relative identities I don't want. So therefore the Kathopanishad, Nachiketa says, tell me, anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. That which is beyond dharma and adharma. Right and wrong, good and bad, moral and immoral, sin and virtue. Because what you call sin in one country will be virtue in another. One country's patriot in another country's enemy. Your country's soldier kills 1,100 people. You give him Paramvira Chakra. If he is cut by the enemy, chopped into pieces. Please think. What is beyond dharma dharma? Anyatra asmat kruta krutat. Kruta akruta. All that is done, not done. Bhutacha bhavyacha. All that has gone, all that is yet to come. Tell me something, that which is beyond all that has gone, all that is yet to come. Meaning eternal thing. In the eternal presence, which is not affected by the past, present, future. Not affected by the right or wrong. Not affected by the papa or punya. And that is what is the principle of the universe. Not many people will understand, because we are conditioned to think black and white. Eating this, bad. Eating this, good. If you are eating this, useless fellow. Eating this. What type of judgment? That is how people have become judgmental. The sense of sin, self-condemnation. You condemn others and you condemn yourself. Becomes totally destroyed. Look at the nature. Please observe. Look at the nature. Water. Think now, friends, this is amazing stuff. My whole morning I have been contemplating, I said, wow, my whole mind is bursting with these ideas. But what can I do? Just I hope you see it very clear. Think of the water. The water quenches thirst. Are you getting that point? Water quenches thirst. Whose thirst? Holy man's thirst? Good man's thirst? King's thirst? Water quenches thirst. For whom? It doesn't matter whether you're a king or the subject, commoner, rich or poor, sinner, vicious, virtuous, bad boy, good boy, moral, immoral, healthy, patient, young, old. It doesn't matter. Water quenches thirst. Water doesn't judge. Look at the nature. Air. Air helps us to breathe and breathes life into us. To whom? Holy men? Good men? Incarnations? Refugees to enter into the condemned ones? Bad boys? What the society has condemned as stupid, useless, vicious? No. The air sustains everybody. Air doesn't discriminate. Earth holds. Whom does it hold? Whom does it hold? Holy people, vegetarians, moralists, philosophers. It holds both vicious, virtuous, good, bad, old, young, poor, common, rich, poor, king, common, anybody. It holds everybody. Elements, creation doesn't judge. Fire. It cooks, burns. Whom? It burns down the rascals, The fellow trying to smoke, the moment it put on the smoker, the drug addict, he was trying to light up with a pipe. The moment he strike the, what is that? The fire, the whole body got burnt. Fire punishes. This is how the religious man will be breathing fire and brimstone. The fire cooks the food for the poor, food for the rich. Cooks the food for the thief, food for the victim, as well as the police. The fire doesn't discriminate. Listen carefully. Space. Akasa. Avagasa datrutva akasa. Akasa means that which accommodates. To whom does it accommodate? Anybody. Only holy people. You are doing a yajna, fire ritual. Fire ritual, you are accommodated. You are going to smoke a fire, light a cigarette, disappears. What happened? You are trying to, pollute the space. Just like space, air, fire, water, earth, the sun lights up a holy place, lights up unholy place, so-called unholy place. There is nothing called holy, unholy. Understand? If you are stuck with the idea, this is holy, this is unholy, you have compartmentalized, divided, you are a different person, friends. You are not fit. This knowledge is not for you. This knowledge is meant for somebody who has gone beyond, who is tired of both poverty and prosperity, tired of happiness, tired of unhappiness and absence of unhappiness, tired of activity, tired of inactivity, tired of laziness, therefore is very active, now tired of activity, did not solve the problem. tired of being unholy, and tired of being holy. Tired of being a bad boy, tired of being a good boy. You understand? Some people are so tired of the goodness, holiness, they go back with a double sprint. And they become vicious. A religious fanatic becomes very vicious. God did not solve my problem, kill the God. Destroy the God. Destroy the temple. My mother was not healed by this God. Break that idol. Think of it. You are tired of being good, tired of being bad. If you are still not tired of being a good man, this knowledge is not meant for you. If you have still not seen the limitations of being virtuous, this knowledge is not meant for you. If you are comfortable with extension of mortality, don't dream of immortality. You are comfortable with little security, don't look for absolute security. Absolute security shall not take out your physical insecurity. Listen carefully, just because you are absolutely secured, you are happy, you are immortal, everything, that does not mean sun will not scorch your body in the summer, the snow will not freeze your body in winter. Your body's limitation shall continue. But you are no more affected by the scorching sun or the freezing winter. Understand? How long can you try to escape the relative inconveniences to the lap of convenience? Where do you run at the lap of convenience that suddenly becomes inconvenience? Have you not seen people? Somebody dies in the family, they're so miserable. Trying to escape from that misery, they drink something. They go into the lap of drinking because they want to forget. Now the drink overtakes. Drug overtakes. Same way, poverty, you are suffering poverty. Listen carefully, you are suffering poverty. So you thought, I have money. And money becomes your addiction. The money overtakes. This is the generation. We are so afraid of poverty. Everybody wants money, money, money. Trying to escape the pain of separation because of a death or a divorce, you take to drugs, food or drinks. You become an alcoholic, a drug addict, or obese because you start eating food. Trying to escape the poverty and discomfort, we have gone into the lap of riches, and the riches have become your addiction. And understand, friends, whatever gives you insecurity, whatever gives you security, that becomes your insecurity. If money is your security, money is your insecurity. If love is your security, love is your insecurity. If God is your security, God is your insecurity. If a faith is your security, faith is your insecurity. You shall be rattled by life. Understand? Therefore, I don't want to go from one insecurity to another insecurity in the name of security. You understand? I don't want to get into another insecurity in the name of security. Falsehood is insecure. The relative truth is not security either. That is also insecure. Poverty is insecurity, but riches also is insecure. That is why the Upanishadic students go and ask, tell me that which is beyond security, insecurity, relative security, insecurity, relative happiness, unhappiness, relative dharma and adharma, relative good and bad. Please give me that. And look at the creation. The creation does not judge, condemn people in any way. This space accommodates everybody, the tormentor and the tormented, the holy and the unholy, the good and the bad, the right and the wrong. Everything it accommodates, including, listen carefully, same way, please take it, self-knowledge. Self-knowledge, the absolute. It is meant for whom? It is meant for the good boy, bad boy. Smart one, idiot. It doesn't matter. Educated, uneducated. It's like a medicine. Does the medicine say, I shall cure only the holy one? I will not work for the unholy. Let him die. Listen carefully. How can you pass judgment? The moment you say somebody is not fit for this knowledge, you are killing him. You understand the point? The moment you say somebody is not fit for this knowledge, you are not fit to teach because you don't know anything. The seeker doesn't come to be condemned by the teacher. You understand? Helpless. In ignorance there is total helplessness. To a helpless person you don't call him, you are drinking, you cannot learn. You have 2 girlfriends, you cannot learn. You have 3 boyfriends, you cannot learn. You are married and divorced, you cannot come. Orthodoxy denies you chances. What the orthodox people will say? Orthodox people will not say, you don't belong to a caste, I can teach you. You are a woman, I can teach you. You are divorced, you are living with somebody's man, somebody's woman, I cannot teach you. You belong to this particular family, I cannot teach you. You go to a person who is a wise person, totally unorthodox on this in one way. Whoever comes is accepted. Now this so-called orthodox person who was not accepted by the orthodoxy passes judgment on the unorthodox who accepts him. How beautiful! How beautiful! Because in his heart of heart, orthodoxy rules. Papa Punya, right wrong rules. You understand? In the Upanishads, these examples you shall see. A child comes, young boy comes to this Rishi and the child asks him, identify yourself. And he talks about his name and he says, where is your father? He says, I don't know my father. But do you have a mother? He said, of course I have a mother. But who is your father? He said, I don't know. I must ask my father. I ask my mother. Then he goes to ask the mother, who is my father? The first time the child asks the mother, who is my father? He says, son, I don't know who is your father. I have worked with so many masters. I worked in so many houses. He said, poorly. So I don't know who is your father. The person goes back to the teacher and says, my mother said she doesn't know who is the father because she has worked in so many houses. Child doesn't understand the complications of it. And what the Rishi said? Shall the Rishi say, you are a bastard, born out of the wedlock, therefore you cannot study? No, the Rishi anointed him with a new name. Your name is Satyakama. You have spoken the truth. You are fit for this knowledge. Because when you come to the teacher, when you come to the teaching, you don't come there to be condemned. You come there to be redeemed. You understand? You don't come to the teacher to be condemned. You don't come to the scriptures to be condemned. You don't come to the religious and orthodox to be condemned. If you come to an orthodox, he shall condemn you. That you are not like this, you are not eating this, you are not putting your dress like this, you are not sleeping like this, you are not behaving like this. So do I come to the scripture to be further imprisoned or to be released? Self-knowledge is meant for whom? For everyone. In self-knowledge, in awareness about yourself, who you are, there is no judgment. Therefore the teacher doesn't ask you about the past. What this Nachiketas ask? Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. Bhutacha bhavyacha yat pasitya tadvada. Please tell me that something which you are seeing, which is other than the past and the future. I am not come here to be condemned by my past, nor am I to dream about my future. Give me something which doesn't come under the realm of past, present and future, beyond time. Beyond time, the timeless, limitless existence. What I was, I don't want to be. Because who I am is something so interesting. What I was pales into insignificance. It means nothing. Understand? Whatever something goes through, was, is, shall be, is not me. Body was a child. Body is young. Body shall be old. Who I am is neither child, nor young, nor old. Unborn. Ajo nitya saswatayam purana. Unborn, eternal. So do you want religion to go through a miracle of remaining young for a long time? Or do you come here to be, suddenly I should grow up from 10 year to 15 year to 25 year, 30 year old and stay there? Don't look for these miracles. What people consider miracle? Somebody has written very nicely. What people consider as miracle? The miracle is, whatever I say, God did it. Miracle. The real miracle is, can you do God's will? God's will means your personal will doesn't exist for God to fulfill it. You don't have a personal will existing for somebody to fulfill it. Why do you feel happy with people? Because what you wish, they do. Naturally, they don't do what you wish, you are miserable, they are frustrated. But for who is happy with everybody? I have no such wish for you to do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. Finish. I am happy with myself. If you do, it's fine. If you don't do, it's what to do. It's okay. How is it that everybody wants to know? How do you like? How does everybody live? I only wish my husband does what I want him to do. I only wish my man or woman does whatever I want to do. Why don't you sometimes give them the same satisfaction by doing what they want you to do? If you are satisfied by what others do as you wish, have you given somebody satisfaction of doing what they want you to do? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's always one-way traffic. That is why people are disappointed in life. Understand? Self-knowledge, yourself being who you are, yourself being who you are, takes you beyond the life and death, childhood and youth and the old age, good and the bad. Understand? Taking you beyond good and bad does not mean you do only bad things. Don't interpret in that way. Relatively, listen carefully. Which side of the road is the right side of the road? Shall you walk on the left or shall you walk on the right? Simple example. If you walk on the left, because everybody walks on the left, let us go on the left. Some other country, right side is right. In our country, right side is wrong. Because everybody goes on the left. In that country, left side is wrong. So when you are in a country with the left side, you go to the left. There are a country with the right side, go on right. Think of it. But your judgment have to change. How? Just take a simple example. Suppose you are a person born into this tradition, where, this particular tradition, where it is said everybody should be vegetarian. Then don't travel other countries. Don't travel to other countries. Why? There everybody is a non-vegetarian. Vegetarian is a rarity. When you go there, the non-vegetarian wants to be accepted. But if he sees another person eating, in a vegetarian country, somebody is eating non-vegetarian food, starts condemning. Forgets he was accepted because he was eating non-vegetarian food. Are you getting that point? When you go to a society, why this conflict today? Because so much of interaction between the communities, societies, people of different countries, different traditions, different religions. How do you interact with people? Different societies, different judgments. Suppose you are an Orthodox teacher, you are an Indian student, and you tell him, you fellow should not eat this, no? Because here everybody is not eating, let us say, chicken, don't eat, and you come there and stay there. Then one of Westerners comes. For him, KFC is the food. He is eating KFC. Then his teacher says, okay, sit down. Now this Indian student gets angry. I ate KFC, I was asked to go, but he is eating KFC, he is eating now. Hey, you bring him down so that later on he may stop eating KFC. Bas. If you tell him, don't eat, then come, the fellow will not come for the knowledge itself. This is the freedom of the absolute. You don't pass judgment. Or just because the person is eating vegetarian, so he should not be sitting down there and look down others. These fellows are all meat eaters. I never eat meat, You shut up. You have not come to see somebody what is eating or not eating. You look at yourself. How do you maintain this objectivity? Think. When the self-knowledge, like space, air, fire, water, earth, medicines, they do not condemn anybody. Should the self-knowledge be condemning anybody? Indian tradition, Vedic Upanishadic tradition is like that. All-inclusive tradition. It accepts anything, everything. There are 1,000 shades, infinite shades, million shades of description and interpretation. Do not stick to one particular stand, one particular shade and condemn everybody, that everybody is a useless fellow. No. An old man was complaining. I think these days everything becoming dirty, everything becomes not very clear these days. Because he was lying down in one place and not much going out and all that stuff. Then this person saw the window and he cleared the window. The window was very dirty, window glasses were very dirty. So he completely cleaned it up. Then the woman said, everything is now nice. So what was not nice? The world was not nice, or the window which was, the glass was dirty? When your eyes power goes less, you change the glasses or change your eyes? If you can't change your eyes, what do? You change your glass, because with the glass you see something. So if you can change your eyes, improve your eyes, fantastic. Like that, mind with confusing thoughts, very confusing conditionings, limiting conditionings. If you look at the world, how will you see? Remove the conditionings. In fact, you can't remove the conditioning. Remove the fellow who feels conditioned. That is why Atmagyan, self-knowledge, understand yourself, not your, you can understand your conditionings as they are. You know, this is this society, this type of conditioning. This is that society, that type of conditioning. You understand why the whole world is going through conflict? In Western countries, people put on any type of dress wherever they like. Wherever, whatever. Even there are nudist beaches are there. Think, once we are walking through a certain forest in one particular country, walking through, people are sunbathing totally, no problem, absolutely, in the birthday suit. No problem. Okay, so the same people come back and go to the beaches in Goa or somewhere in India and they lie down. What happens? Everybody is gawking. Indians, why? Looking, why? Because they have never seen like this. What is going on? So somebody can kill them or destroy them. What happened? One's custom, one lifestyle is comfortable in one country which is not in another country. Why there is so much of conflict? Because you are trying to literally impose one type of lifestyle another place. Transplant one lifestyle in another place. Don't. And if you see people as they are, naturally you look at the Indian person, he is like this, American is like this, Australian is like that, Fijian is like that, then what happens? Oh, because he is an Indian, he can sit down. In American, he can sit on the chair. So then what happens? So you see, because he is American, he is given the chair. In an Indian, I am sitting down. That fellow cannot cross his leg. If you cross his leg, you have to call the fire brigade to open his legs. But he can't sit down like that. Give the Indian Western commode and give the Indian American the Eastern Indian toilet. Punishment. But a sick man will say, it is discrimination. How can they are giving that type of bathroom? This is, Arey bhai, wherever you are comfortable. No, we are not comfortable. Indian means Indian. American means, oh boy. Do you understand? Simple thing I am talking about. How can you eat cheese? In cheese there is non-vegetarian. All right. Then the other place, how can you breathe? Because there are so many germs going inside. Ishvara, please think, that is why this knowledge is so amazing. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. That which is beyond this and that. As you grow up in life, you know. Don't tell people, you go beyond everything. No. Nobody can start with that. You start with relative things. Tell everybody. Speak the truth. Love everybody. Never hurt anybody. It's fine. As you grow up in life, you come to discover telling a lie is definitely a mess. But speaking the truth also is a mess. Poverty is a mess. Prosperity also is a mess. Can't do it at all times. You cannot. That is where comes. For whom this conflict? Not the creation, not the body, not the thought. I, individual. So, know about yourself. When you know that, this will happen results in next class, okay? This is, so such a person, when you thus be happy with yourself, you are with yourself, samadhanam, asamadhanam. Whether mind is in samadhi, there is observed state where there is no thought, no conflict, or asamadhana. There are certain agitating, certain thoughts are coming up. It makes no difference. You don't consider the presence of thought as agitation. You do not consider absence of thought as meditation. Because you are the meditation, understand? You are the meditation. So if there is a presence of thought, you are not affected by why these thoughts are coming. If that is coming, you don't understand yourself. Because there is nothing called an agitation. Please understand. Summer is summer. Summer is physically discomfort. But if you go on saying, why this hot, you make yourself mentally also uncomfortable. Hunger is hunger, good or bad. Hunger is hunger. Why this hunger? What is this hunger? I want to eat. Nothing wrong, it's hunger, eat. But only this food, who demands? The eye. The presence of thought is not agitation. Then absence of thought is not meditation. You are in meditation. The presence of all the objects in the world is not, listen carefully, the absence of object is poverty, but is not unhappiness. The presence of the object is riches, but not the happiness. That is why, even if you are happy, you are with everything, you are happy. Nothing, you are also happy. Both the cases. Happy to be alive. I am immortal. Living for sometimes with the body. Now the body is going to go. Let it go. If I can take care, fine. Cannot take care. So what? Amazing dimensions. Therefore, you see who you are and do not judge yourself through what you have, nor you judge others through what they have. How fantastic. Long before you stop judging others, first you must stop judging yourself. As long as you are considering yourself holy, important, smart, because of the presence of a particular lifestyle, you shall condemn everybody. And as long as you are considering yourself unholy and stupid, you will also condemn everybody. But when you are happy with yourself being who you are, you accept your limitation, you accept your strength. Naturally, therefore, you shall accept everybody's limitation, everybody's strength, whatever may be the tradition, whatever may be the society, whatever may be the lifestyle. You are not a follower of this God or that God, this religion or that religion, this faith or that faith. You are happy with yourself, comfortable with every faith, all religions, no faith, no God. Makes no difference. Amazing. You are not condemning anybody. A total acceptance. In a total all-inclusive acceptance, there is no rejection. Understand? The space doesn't reject. Look at the principle of the universe. The space doesn't reject. The fire doesn't reject. Water doesn't reject. Air doesn't reject. Earth doesn't reject. Consciousness, the self doesn't reject. And if you understand what the God is, it's consciousness with all names and forms, as we have seen it, Ishvara, there is no rejection in totality. How can the ocean reject a wave? Wave rejects another wave. Do you understand? A wave is rejected by another wave. A man rejects another man. A tradition rejects another tradition. Meaning, when your individuality comes up, it's not that the body rejects another body. No, there is somebody inside. It's not the faith rejects another faith. One person sitting inside considers this is my body, everybody else is useless. If I am hungry, I eat. Others can go starving. Individuality. My faith, my God, my book, my lifestyle, my conviction. You shall be despot. Fanaticism. I see myself as I am. Everybody as they are. Beautiful. All inclusive. Accept ignorance. Why? At one time you were ignorant or not? Were you born wise? No. So accept ignorance. And in ignorance, what are the expressions? Infinite. Somebody searching for happiness in this, in a sound or a sight or a touch or a taste or a smell, power, position, faith. Somebody is looking for that satisfaction in renunciation, giving up, denying. Who is better? Both are seekers. You see yourself as happiness. Absolute. You don't seek happiness in anything. Therefore, you are all inclusive. Everything is beautiful. Samadhana, samadhana. Hita, ahita, vikalpana. There is nothing beneficial or detrimental. Living is as beautiful as even dying. Youth is as beautiful as even old age is. Everything is beautiful. Your smiles are as beautiful as even your tears. Inconveniences as wonderful, as much welcome as inconveniences. Why? Understand. If you understand these things, you shall never create a man-made inconvenience to anyone. Natural inconvenience, no problem. Heat, you can face the heat. Put up an AC, heat is finished. How do you destroy the heat created by the aggressors, invaders, marauders, people who work only for themselves and they create problem for everybody? How do you get out of that? Natural inconvenience, you can get out. You can fight a disease. Because the disease doesn't target you, but a murderer targets you. As a human being, if you stop targeting, understand how fantastic. You are happy with yourself, happy with everybody in this universe. That is Shunya Chito Najanati Kaivalyamiva Sanstita. Kaivalyamiva Kevalamiva Kaivalyamiva Sanstita. Existing as one without a second. There is no Sajatiya Veda, Swagata Veda, Bijatiya Veda. There is no differences of any kind. Between two species, there are differences. Between animal and plants. Then there is differences among the plants. Then there is a difference in the plant itself. All these type of differences doesn't exist because in consciousness yourself, there are no different species of consciousness. There is nothing other than the consciousness. There is not a body of a different parts in consciousness. Kaivalya. Nishkalam Advitiyam. There is nothing, one pure awareness in that. Shunya Chita, thus being with that Shunyam, which is Shunyam, emptiness, which is fullness. Shunyam, Purnam, both one and the same thing. Space is full or empty. It is full of emptiness. Fullness, emptiness. Call it whatever you like. In that, presence or absence of thought, presence or absence of anything makes no difference. The person is free here and now. Please close your eyes. You see these things inside, always in yourself. No judgments of any kind. You are not there to pass judgment. See yourself as you are. Not all you have has its own place in life. Thank you, friends.